to the West Coast and the San Francisco Bay Area, renowned worldwide for the Golden Gate Bridge, its stunning views, and innovation. The Grand Finals will be played in the Oracle Arena, home of the Golden State Warriors, and now host to the highest level of competitive Counter-Strike. Teams from around the world will compete for the prestige of winning an IEM championship. They will also battle forward on their way to claim the first Intel Grand Slam title. Oakland is the second major CSGO tournament in this 12th series of the Intel Extreme Masters, hosting the champions of IEM Sydney, SK Gaming, and American powerhouses Team Liquid and Cloud9. This tournament is the final stop before the IEM World Championship in Katowice, Poland. This is a tournament to be remembered. This is IEM Oakland.
All right, Oaktown, put your hands in the air, put your cans in the air. We are here in the Oracle Arena for this IEM on the West Coast, IEM Oaktown. It is great to be here. Are you ready for some Counter-Strike? And that is why I love you. For me, this is the 4th time I've been back to an IEM on the West Coast, and it gets better every year. Look at this place, the Oracle Arena, the home of the Golden State Warriors, NBA champions. And we have 4 teams across semifinals today. It's the dream lineup, the dream lineup. They're playing off for this trophy. They want their names around here. 11 years IEM has gone around the world. There is a history. There is a prestige, there is a desire for our teams to win it. So let's just check the fans we've got. Any FaZe fans? Okay. Have we got any Ninjas in Pyjamas fans? Okay. Any SK fans? What about Cloud9? Well, that is our second semi-final. First off, it is a rerun of last year. 2 teams were batted out on this stage. NIP, it looked like they were starting again. They were going to be great. It's not really happened. Will it this time? We're about to find out. Oakland, are you ready for your first semi-final? You're not ready enough. Oakland, are you ready? Please welcome your first team. That is the Ninjas in Pyjamas. So they are a team hungry to take that trophy back with them, but it takes 2 to tango. Their opponents, defeated last year's, they will want that sweet, sweet revenge. Please welcome to the stage, SK Gaming! It is another beautiful day in the core. Man, I love the core. Who's winning this? NIP? SK? The crowd has spoken. Let's get it on with our first semi-final. I want to hear it one more time, Oakland. I want to hear it one more time. Are you ready?
Well, OJ, I think we certainly are ready. IEM Oakland 2017, we do it all again, and this time we get our last year's final early. SK, NIP, who topped the group.
It's interesting, isn't it? The fact they seem to perform so well at this event. The defending champions certainly dropped off since winning this tournament, but they're back and they're looking pretty much as strong as they did last time. The fact that we've got Rez in there now with Draken, the young firepower coming through, with the old veterans as well. Considering the map vetoes, I feel like they've got a chance here. The fact that Cash has made it into the second map, we could well see a third.
It's entirely possible. In fact, there's a few people that have speculated both series could go toward 3 maps based on difference in the map pool or the depth of either team. FaZe obviously going off against Cloud9 a little bit later on, and Cloud9's been another team that's impressed, I think, in this event. But yeah, SK on a stage at any point in time, anywhere in the world, is a scary thought, and they seem, I think, very motivated with Bolts back on board to take down everyone and everything. Yeah,
that's the main thing, the big stage now. As we mentioned, NIP got a berth into the semi-final after winning the group stages here. They've got young players, Draken and Rez, who are on the big stage now, played very well so far. Can they continue that form up against the absolute veterans, the #1 team in the world, SK Gaming? Rez has looked like one of the best players in the tournament so far, and I want to see if he can perform today.
He certainly is no stranger to performance, but a stage in this environment, a little bit new, a little bit different for him. Not that he's entirely familiar or alien, but it's been interesting to watch this roster finally revitalize themselves. And interestingly, we often talked about how NIP was hesitant to make roster changes.
Missing out on that.
Yeah, exactly where I was going with that. Missing out on some of the changes that other teams were taking advantage of. The LGB core eventually leading to a Fnatic dynasty, if you will, for a period of time, an era that was certainly the most dominant, I think, in CSGO when you consider the level of competition at the time and the amount of, I think, 7 in a row, the amount of events that they won. And then obviously the swap with Godsent, that was rather large and everyone was talking about it. It was a blockbuster deal. NIP was always on the sidelines of that and always seeming to struggle as well. Now it's almost like, as the other two have done their swaps early, they've taken advantage of the next group of players coming in, and they're the ones leading the way.
They've got themselves a couple of rookies, and it's looking very impressive, I have to say. And the form Get Right showing right now, it seemed to have revitalized him. He certainly had a slump the last year, but the last couple of months or so have looked much more promising for him. He's back on his lurking role. He seems like he's found his confidence, and I'm hoping he steps up today. They're going to need players like him to perform. Obviously, Forrest is one of the big names of the team, going up against the absolute world's best here. coldzera and Fur looking deadly this tournament. I have to say as well, the AWP potential of SK Gaming, that's where I'm a little bit worried. The fact that coldzera is looking amazing with the secondary AWP right now, that's going to be a massive problem for NIP, who don't really have the secondary AWP to work with. They have Forrest to bring out occasionally, but it feels like it's down to Draken to go toe-to-toe with Fallen and coldzera here.
Draken, I think, has been improving. The talk about him missing the 30 sort of degree window, I think he's getting better at it, but there's still a few times this weekend he's looked, I think, a little bit, he almost looks nervous or tense in those situations when they put a lot of pressure on him. He hits crazy shots that he's not expected to, but when it really comes down to him, I compare him to World Edit in that regard.
Well, he's one of the players that I've always criticized. He's very good at getting the opening pick. He's got a lot of confidence. It's his decision-making. Once he finds the opening pick, that's when things seem to fall apart a little bit there, especially on the big stage. Nerves riding high, and we'll see whether he can actually step toe-to-toe with Fallen. The thing with Fallen is he's so experienced here. If he comes out, wins the first orbital against him, he's going to rattle the confidence of Draken and try and shut him down, especially on a map like Overpass as well. It's very AWP-centric. He'll be able to be very dynamic here, and it's going to be NIP starting on the T side, so that's where Fallen on the CD side will do his best work. He'll be going in a different position every single round and challenging for those duels.
And it's interesting because, obviously we know Fallen, Park Sign, Long, he dominates all of that territory. But as you say, coldzera on the secondary op has been solid. And interestingly, at the B side as well, they've even run the double op setup in B specifically, covering both sandbags from sort of back toward the ramp, if you will, and the second op down toward Monster. So they are being very dynamic, and he has been very impressive, coldzera, in that site. Now, keep in mind, if we want to talk maps and the depth in this series, like you say, it has the potential to go 3 because Cash is sort of NIP home turf. It's had some heartbreak for them, 2 games in specific. Flip side, Vega, I know those are wounds they don't like to be pulled open again on stream, but it's a fact, and obviously that they play it so often, it has to be the map they look to in this series, especially with Draken, who's been very, I think, good on that map. I think that's been his best map, not just NIP's.
One player I want to talk about especially is going to be Taco, a player that looked very poor in the first opening few days, but then yesterday he actually looked fantastic, right? He actually showed us what he's made of. Fallen even called it out at the start, saying, well, he's going to play well today, watch out for him, and he certainly delivered. The support player technically, but he was second on the scoreboard, looking like he was opening up bomb sites and managing to keep up with his teammates, which was great to see him have that kind of play, and they're going to need him today. This is where it all matters, in the stadium. And it will be Overpass to keep things off. Like we said, NIP sitting on the T side here. SK Gaming very, very strong on the pistols. That's the thing about SK. That's why you shut them down. If you can get the pistol lead, you get the 3-0 there, win the first gun round, try and shut down their economy. That's where things really get rocking and rolling.
Rock and roll About to be loud and proud in the Oracle Arena, because we're about to get underway. The pistol round SK, they will start out on the CT side. NIP on the attack first.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. IEM Oakland, SK Gaming versus NIP, the defending champions up against the challengers, the world's #1 team, SK Gaming. Let's make some noise!
The buy, pretty straightforward. Exist goes to a smoke, 4 armor for everybody else. On the CT side, a bit more utility, and Fallen has a kit as well as the smoke. Decoys, call them what you will. Forest already peeking out toward long as well by getting out toward the corner. They have the bomb toward the fountain. They'll clear systematically some map control toward the bathrooms, which give them the approach toward the A site, but it's early in the round, a minute 22. And Fur, the only one directly inside of the A site, has to make contact. If they find him in the open as he is, they'll take the site for a plant, and it will come to a retake. Again, 1 kit, but a good find from Fur, getting forward, unfortunately immediately traded. That gives NIP the approach, and the smoke is perfectly timed toward the stairwell for rotations.
Well, the bomb will go down into CT's boosting up here, trying to deny everything they can. Cold Zera strikes, can't find the headshot straight away. Have to fall back at this point, or maybe not. What was that? As he takes down Forest, it's Get Right to defend from the bathroom, and the bomb has been planted.
Good find from Get Right to hold in the bathrooms. So as you say, Taco, you talked about his performance not yesterday, but on Thursday. It was certainly impressive. Rez gets pulled down. That's going to take back part of the approach of the rotation, but Fallen still stands. No armor, so the Glock is a factor for body shots, but he's got the kit. He stays alive, Taco. Rez, he's got to pick up a gun. He's dropped his away. He's got to get to one that's got ammo left over. He's got the Glock 9 bullet, 6 HP. And Fallen's done it on the retake. Lots of time for the defuse.
SK Gaming coming out on top there. Bit of a brawl to kick things off. Sets the tone very nicely indeed. The boost from Cold Zera, I didn't think he would yield any sort of result, but he nails the headshot and causes pandemonium on the A bomb side there. The retake was successful, and here you can see that headshot coming through. That was absolutely lovely. The flick as he managed to open things up. Goodbye, Forest. Well, NIP do get the bomb down there, so they will be able to force fight in the 3rd round. PD50s, maybe a couple of smokes and flashbangs to kick us off in round #2 here, but they'll be waiting for round #3. We do know SK Gaming focus on the SMGs in these 2nd rounds, but they know with the bomb going down, they may have to bring some firepower out and prepare for round #3 here. Looks like we have a little pause here, Matt, so this will be technical, I would assume.
We got the unpause called almost right away, so we should be fine. Like there was technical. You're right, though. They do know exactly that the AKs will be brought out early on the NIP side, more so if they can strengthen that early buy with another bomb plant in this particular round. But interestingly, it's only 2 rifles. They still go to 2 MP9s as well. I would have thought UMP at the very least would have been considered due to the armor penetration.
I completely agree. It's interesting. NIP will have an opening to the next round to get the first point on the board for themselves. As Fur, of course, pushing towards top of middle. He wants to get those frags in his favor. And for now, he'll be challenging towards top of middle. Does a little bit of damage and he'll fall back towards the connector.
Shot from Fur. MP9 certainly works fine in this round. Back and tagged as well, down to 23. Fur was clipped by a deagle. And with 3 players toward A this time for SK, less likely they'll be able to walk directly into the site and get that secondary bomb plant we talked about. Even if they sell a fake, it's not like they're going to over-rotate with weapons in their hands. No sense to panic. Both funds exist. He'll spray down, same position. Get Right gets 1 in return, so at least some reinvestment brought out. But again, it's one of the SMGs, and that's fine. Actually, in fact, Fur getting 1 kill in the SMG, the MP9, and going down is fine. He gets the $600 back. He'll be able to buy into a rifle or at least a UMP in the next round as Bolts rotates around, and Cold's able to find the kill immediately.
2-0 for SK Gaming. That was quite the clean sweep. They gave 1 kill away, but like we said, this is the round that really counts. NIP with the AK-47s out. They've got the smokes, the flashbangs. They've got a Molotov to work with here as well. We'll have a look at the final purchase from SK. They bring out 2 M4s. They lost 1 of the previous MP9, so Cold Zera will hold on to that weapon. Fur brings out the M4A4, and we'll see if NIP can get anything done here. They head towards middle, looking to challenge the aggression that SK been presenting so far. Of course, it's Fur. This is his stomping ground towards the top of middle, trying to find these opening kills. Has the smoke to work with there, and they're hunting him down. They're saying a little pack of 3 here to try and trade even when required. It's fallen with the UMP at quite some range there along A.
Fur can time this so well. He hears Forest. Ooh, what a shot, though, from Forest. Because if he hadn't found Forest, he would have swung out to long. We've been talking about it all tournament long.
Yeah.
Fur has been so good at getting behind teams.
He absolutely is. No one seems to be able to shut him down, but that will do. Forrest with the swift AK headshot opens things up. 5 on 4. They make their way towards long. They will be committing to this bomb site. Exists leading the charge. Bomb on his back. They've still got smokes to deploy at this point. It looks like a contact play. They just want to have the surprise factor. Potentially backstab players like Bolts who are waiting by the bathrooms.
Get right. Completely gray screened as he wants to walk in. Fallen therefore finds the shot on Rez. As they stay toward the door, Bolts will step up as well, and realizing they've lost long, he'll turn around. His contribution is felt, but it's on to Forrest, who started this off with an excellent kill on Fur. He's now found his second, but he's down to 12 HP. And from range on an MP9, make me eat my words, he'll get the bonus Cold Zero because they've broken down an IP early.
Well, they got the opening pick, but they couldn't convert it to a victory there. They went for this simple approach. It's what we call a contact play. You're not deploying all the utility. You get as close to the bomb site as you physically can. And when the CD detects you, that's when you unload absolutely everything. They managed to get trades there, but the retake successful, and that doesn't bode well for an IP whatsoever. That was a round of UMP, an MP9, a couple of M4s, and a FAMAS as well. And it looks like SK Gaming are very comfortable at this point. An IP with no bomb plant means a full eco coming in here. I'd assume they'll get P250s, maybe a couple of Deagles, but so far so good. And we'll take another quick pause here. Looks like we have a tactical pause coming through for the NIP side.
I guess, again, for timeouts, we talk about this all the time in the theory behind it, but I guess having lost the early buy, you have to think the long-term economic standpoint, and bombs are going to be very important in building that back up so early in the game. They know as well, Overpass, SK's map choice, yet definitely they are playing on the back foot just by virtue of who SK is on this map.
Oh, absolutely. Well, 3-0 comes through. It is a bit of a partial buy here. We get the CZs out, a Deagle, but no armor, no nades, so we'll see whether they can get anything done here. We'll get into the next round as we'll head in towards the Connector area. It's going to be a little trade there as well. Fallen opens things up, but Fur, once again, aggressive, of course, towards middle. He'll get the second and third frag. He's looking strong today. Middle seems to be the area he has complete control of, and he'll be closing the round out presumably any second. Now, Draken will take him down eventually. 3 versus 1 now. He's not going to win the round, but any damage he can cause to the financial situation of SK is going to be beneficial to NIP.
Gets the kill. So Draken with just the one. So they want to try and obviously build his bank up in specific. T-sided op is still extremely viable on Overpass.
Absolutely. He'll be coming out this round, I would assume. Fallen on the AWP as well, of course, and his Fur. This is where he normally gets most of his frags, at that fountain position, pushing through smokes, and these shots towards Connector, that was quite nice. It definitely is a bit of a sign of things to come, perhaps, as we get into round number 5 here. The AWP is out for Draken. We do have AKs around him as well, and Fallen will be boosted towards the B side. Looking at the short pipe, waiting for that flashbang. That's why he's looking at the floor right now with Fur. How does he do this every single round? He's hungry for blood here.
And this is the thing, with Fur playing so well on the A site this far forward, Fallen can't afford to be dynamic. He doesn't have to babysit the inside of the A site. Again, sort of where we see him is staple on this map. He's able to rotate off. The boost dynamic. His Fur, he's going to get aggressive as well. Oh, Rez, good read, good find. AK gets the kill immediately with the headshot. That'll certainly force off a rotation from B. And it is, I believe it is Fallen heading back.
They've shut him down for the second time now. They've had this advantage before in the first gun round. Couldn't convert it. Fallen is short.
Yeah. Fallen's on short with the op, so he's actually done the opposite. They're going to rotate all the rifles back over to A rather than the op to play the long angles in the site. That puts Cold, Taco, and Bolts very far forward, and all Fallen has to consider is Monster. He's re-smoked that. He can watch the inside of construction while they search for information and a refrag on the SK side.
50 seconds remaining. It's Fallen to get one back. Taco chiming in as well. Advantage goes towards SK. They'll fall back. You can see them retreating towards the bomb site. Comes down to Draken now. Long A with the AWP. We need him to step up today. Looking for the opening pick, but time is ticking away. They don't really have much utility. 2 smokes remaining as they make their final approach towards the A bomb site.
Rez. The dumpster can't find Taco. Goes down immediately. Get right knows the situation. He needs to get at least 1 kill to allow the entry to long. Taco's on the other side of the wall, but they can't find it, and unfortunately, it's just Get Right remaining. What a great example of a team knowing. Good shot from Bolts. The exact situation. They lose the early pick and they rotate everyone back rather than cowering away. And I thought they would take Fallen back to the site. They send all 3 out. They play for the trades. They get aggressive and they take assertion and end the round essentially.
It's great work by Fallen. The fact he dropped the smoke and Monster is focused primarily towards short. Instead of playing back in the site and allowing them to execute there, he's finding the shots. He's funneling them towards A. And that's where the rifles are waiting for them. And it's 5-0 SK Gaming. They're not missing a beat right now. We are technically have a force by FMNIP. Sure, we have the rifles and the armor. We have 1 smoke. Make it 2 with 1 flashbang to work with here. Fur, top of middle once again. How many times will he try and get away with this one? He's been shut down twice now. And we'll see whether he can cause any damage here as NIP make their way towards the connector. We have got Draken in the playground, and he could find Fur any second now. This is very touch and go for both players. Draken knows the potential of Fur pushing towards middle.
Good shot again from Fallen to start it off. Lost round bonus certainly at its maximum.
Fur's in T-steps, just a note.
Yeah, that's I don't know how he does it. This whole event, like, I used to think Snacks was the master of getting easy kill. By again, right? Had no idea. Fur, like, someone needs to look at his demos. If there's a heat map for Fur, I bet all of his CT kills are on the T side of the map.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely
ridiculous.
Behind enemy lines as ever. Get right with the knife out. Draken was actually watching it. He was in playground. He let them go past. And now Fur in the connector, still being a nuisance. He'll do damage. Exist finally takes him down, but it might be too late. It's now a 4-on-2. It's up to Exist and Draken now to make their way back towards the A side, it seems. Draken, no AWP. He'll be at long A and Fallen in the bathrooms. Exist's got his work cut out for him here.
Angle held. Exist hesitant. Checking all of the angles. Early shot from Fallen. In fact, it wasn't even going to be a shoulder peek. Draken's added to that with the AK kill on a bolt set long. That allows the entrance and the bomb plant at the very least. The rotation in a 2 versus 2 favors SK on HP, but not in positioning because they're split up entirely, and Draken's going to get aggressive to try and catch Cold off. Good position. The AK can't find the shot. 15 for Cold. He can now afford to look for information, as Exist will not burrow into the typical post-plant position. He'll wait to see where Taco presents himself.
The in-game leader of NIP, the lowest performer for them in this tournament so far, in a 2 versus 1 up against Cold Zero and Taco. The bomb is down, he's towards long, he has no utility to work with it. He has to fight and see if he can make it a 1 versus 1 before anything begins here. He'll successfully do that, and he gets both kills! The spray control comes through, and Exist has done it! He pulls it off against all the odds. Nothing to work with there. And how does he pull that one out the bag?
Wow. With 46 HP, the problem exists, no pun intended, that they only keep one player alive on the reset, but what a round to win. This isn't even close to a lineup, my goodness.
That's beautiful. That's what they needed, a clutch going in favor of the Ninjas. And we'll have round number 7. It was a 4-on-2 situation, and one that could bring NIP to life now. 5-1. Money's still going to be difficult, but they'll take a pause just to calm down, it seems. As we get into this, we still have money, of course, for the SK side. The AWP still out. Fallen missing that key shot in the bathrooms. As the opening exists required. 2 versus 1. Shouldn't have won that. The first kill that came in towards the bomb, you would assume the refrag comes in straight away. That spray control, that was ungodly.
It was incredible because I think he just had faith on the first player. He was already transferring to the second player as the last bullet was still flying toward his target. So the response is going to have to be desperate, aggressive, and convincing from NIP, and the fact that they are down to the 2 AK-47s, a CZ-75 Khalil and UMP, Exist being the only one to survive. It's out toward B. Again, SK wants to step forward. Fallen with the AWP is getting so aggressive. We don't typically see him on this portion of the map with the AWP in hand, but this event, again, with Fur being so good on A, he can't afford to do so, and he finds Forrest already. They have the smoke so he can fall back, even though Squeaky Door isn't covered, no one will be able to get the shot.
These are the kind of players we're talking about in the pre-game. Fallen, getting aggressive, changing his position every single round, and being a nuisance. You can see how difficult this buy was for NIP, even though they won the previous round. Draken's down to a CZ, which is now a Khalil. Get right on the UMP, and it's the man advantage given towards SK Gaming. Fallen pushing offshore, takes down Forrest, and he'll manage to retreat safely back to the B side here. NIP don't really have much to work with at all. 3 players in T-spawn. We have got Exist making his way up long A. The hero of the previous round might have to step up here again. He's one of the few players with the AK-47. They have got utility. They opted for strategy over firepower going into this round. And so far, they are at the disadvantage. It's Fur once again. This time, a little bit more caged. He's not at the top of middle.
Yeah, but you say caged. Formerly the position that he used to get all of his flanks as far back as Cluj, as far back as the early days of the Brazilian roster, was inside of bathrooms. He's very good at just staying put and not panicking, staying silent. You can see it, Draken almost runs over and walks directly into him. Rez has gone behind him, but this is it. This is it. This is what Fur does every time. It's like he is literally controlling the simulation Anders talks about. Every time in bathrooms, he gets a kill from behind. It's going to be immediately inside of the site that they'll have to push in from long. Bolts is ready for get right. Bomb drop. Draken only with the 1 response. And the round is gone. The reset is going to hit 9 seconds. Draken has no chance to find 4. Needs to die early, in fact, given the money situation.
It took the heroics Exist to get the first round on the board, but that will be forgotten as we go into the next round. 6-1, full reset coming through with no bomb planted. It's looking too easy for that man in the screen right now. Fur completely lighting them up every single round. Behind enemy lines, He seems to find kills with players that are knifes out, and yet they have no idea where he is. It's so difficult to play against him. With a round like that, when he goes passive, you just assume, okay, he must be playing back on the bomb site now, but no, he's there, still in an aggressive position, and he'll be looking for some anti-eco frags here. The nade's successful. They'll be rushing towards his position, looking for the spray down. He'll take one and fall back.
All back. 9 kills to Fur's name. Bolts and Cold each on 8. Everyone chiming in. Get right. Gets a kill on Fur at the very least, but unfortunately, without the weapons, they can't do much more. Forrest and Get Right. Both left alive, at least with an M4 picked up, but not much to work with. Cold's already spotted them. Sure, picked some more bathrooms. Bolts responds accordingly. 7-1. We all love that scoreline when Brazil's involved.
Oh, yeah, you have to, don't you?
I am a slave to the meme.
You are. You are, but I still enjoy it every time it comes through. It will be round number 9. Money available for NIP once again. Not amazing. They don't have the potential for the AWP from what I can see. They've got 4 AKs so far. Forrest yet to buy. He goes for the Galil. Still struggling into this round. We'll keep following Fallen as he seems to be the protagonist at most of the start of the rounds. He manages to get the opening pick. This time not pushing, but he will be boosted up from the B side once again. They dropped the incendiary at the very start. Fur is looking for more kills at the very start of the round. Can hear them going towards long.
Incredible, this game. This is textbook from Fur. So much information again. They've got to start to check these angles. They consider it. Good find from Get Right, but he's confirmed that all 5 were there. He heard enough footsteps to say, yep, absolutely, start the rotations and be ready for the A approach. Now that said, they are getting aggressive toward T-spawn. Taco responding to what Fur called, but there is a gap toward the lower stairwell and a connection back towards Squeaky. NIP need to be ready for Taco's presence. It seems Forrest is both sneaking in, both quietly, and Forrest finally figures out that SK wants to play that game style.
Waking up to the plays of the aggressive tactics of SK Gaming. It's Taco with the reactive play all the way through T-spawn. You can see NIP biding their time, not giving anything away at that point. They've got the 5-on-3. Surely this is their round. They head towards the B side, but wait. There's a monster on the other side in more ways than one. It's Cold Zera waiting behind the pillar. Can he get anything done here? Misses the opening spray. Will get the frag and a double. Is it enough as we go to a 3-on-2?
Considering how wide he was of the pillar with 3 players essentially walking in, that was pretty good from Cold. It still gives the advantage to NIP with the bomb going down. Fallen the first to arrive on the AWP, and he'll wait for Bolts to take over from Water. Exist already had the spot at Short Pipe to spot his entrance, and for the first time, SK is going to back off and have to save. In fact, despite that it's 7-1, despite that there was a reset for NIP, they've kept the economy fairly modest on the SK side.
Yeah, they have been finding picks and making sure at least take a few players down with them every single time. This time it's for taken down once again. I think he has to maybe change his approach, maybe focus on connector, or even just falling back. The bathrooms could be a viable option as well, because he is finding success, sure, but now it seems that they're focusing on taking him down first and then capitalizing when the reactions come through. Taco tried it towards T-spawn. Forrest waiting for him, and that's exactly how NIP are going to win these rounds. Let SK play themselves by keep going aggressive. Is hold up and make sure you trade them out. So we'll have a look. So Fallen does save the AWP. They will be able to buy into round number 10 here. NIP need to start finding multiple rounds in a row. Break them fully. Get them onto an eco. The only way they're going to have a chance of building up some momentum here. Cold Zera with the AWP. They got double AWP set up. They have. This is where things become very problematic indeed. Cold Zera has been playing absolutely lights out Counter-Strike with this secondary AWP. Very aggressive as well. Fantastic in the clutches. We'll see if Fallen goes towards long at the very start. Will be challenged as we have got 3 NIP players heading towards that area.
On the flower pot just barely misses the headshot toward long as Rez, Exist, and Draken all try and take position. And they're going to act a little bit quicker at least being, or at least taking the long control. The problem is Fur again's inside of a smoke. Fallen swinging over after being out toward long, finds Get Right. Early advantage, funnels them away, and Fur has room to wiggle because of it. Pops out, finds Rez. Playing perfectly in tandem. Good response from Forrest, at least gives them something to look forward to, or at least be optimistic about on the NIP side, as Exist as well. Walking through his smoke is hoping he'll catch them off. The second smoke's kind of ruining that plan for him, hoping to catch them off. Thinking the smoke was enough.
Oh, Existo does push the smoke and manages to get the headshot, and that's the opening they need. They will fully commit towards the A bomb side. Draken and Existo waiting for the smokes. They'll be held off by Fallen, who's at the truck right now, looking to take the advantage once again. We still have 45 seconds, but Taco, he's coming from the connector. He could sabotage absolutely everything. If he peeks and finds Forrest, that's going to be a difficult kill to take, though, because Forrest isn't messing around today. Hits another headshot, and it's going to be a 3-on-2.
Inside sight, misses one from Fallen. That's enough for Draken to get a response. Swings in with the AK, and Cold missing as well. No chance, as NIP finally gets 2 in a row. And a 7-3 scoreline that will break SK down.
So patient for NIP. They've got a really strong game plan today. Forrest enjoying himself there, waiting for the flanks to come through. Even when they have the advantage, they're waiting. They're making sure every threat has been neutralized. And we're looking at the flanks. It was Forrest that managed to find Taco once again coming from the connector, took him down, and round was done. Money finally going to be in a strong position for NIP and a very weak one for SK now. So they'll have P250s, Deagles, CZs, and they'll be going towards a connector here. NIP need to make this a clean round. 4 players surviving at least.
Draken. Just wait to see if SK want to continue to be fast-paced on the CT side. No one really wanted to do so, but a little bit of a stacked crossfire. Trade potential for Bolts and Fallen. Or just above. Forrest timidly will be checking the corner for them. No one's going to be showing, and this is a trap. Walk in, 1, 2, 3. In fact, they don't even need to all peek. Exist goes down the stairwell, needs to respond, and will. Took a bit, but the AK with the low HP on Bolts was inevitably going to find it. Unfortunately, Forrest watches from the sidelines, but his job done. They were able to respond and trade.
Could get a little bit dicey here. There will be a team kill coming in, but it's fine. It's the 3 versus 1 now. Taco, he's pretty far removed from the situation, currently resides on the A bomb site, and we'll see whether he can actually rotate through and find anything here with the Desert Eagle. Takes a shot to the face, goes down to 1 HP, and he'll be dealt with by Draken to finish things off there. Good work by NIP. Slow start, but now they're up to 7-4. We might have another eco here for SK. We'll have a look as to where the final money sits. They're about 3,500 to 4K at the very top. So it looks like they will be buying here, but it's certainly not going to be a strong one. There won't be any double orbs going into round number 12 here. They get 4 M4A4s, and the UMP will come through. No head armor and 1 diffuse kit. It's going to be a difficult round for them. I was surprised if they can convert this. Does Fur keep going aggressive at the very start of the round? That's the question. As Fallen holds towards long A, Fur will indeed be right by the choke point of middle.
Taco, the only one who's not getting a massive amount of frags for SK, but hasn't really needed to. Given the amount of pressure applied by Fur, Cold, and Fallen. It's in there as well with 11. It's Fallen this time, just going to sit behind the truck and jump to see if anyone's out toward long. Meanwhile, Rez cover off the bathrooms. Without the AWP, can't quite take the angles he would like to. This time as well with Fur so far back, they actually get bathrooms control, having not lost a man in the round. I think every single time they've gotten to the bathrooms, they've already had forced into battle and forced to trade at least someone.
We've got deep crossfires this time. You can see Fur, the very precipice of the bathrooms there's Fallen and Bolts to cover him, take the aggro away, allow him to get some more backstab players. Fallen already down to 11 HP. We can have a full execution pretty much for the first time for NIP here. All 5 players alive. They have long air control and middle. They'll deploy the smokes. Flashbangs will go in momentarily. They just want to trade out frags. Fur will be the first line of defense. They can't handle him just yet, but the trade comes through. That's looking very good now.
He's fine. Approach it long, shut down temporarily from Bolts, but he's in a limited position. That corner's so tough to get out of once you're committed. So it's 1 for 1 as expected. Right, getting the response kill and planting the bomb. They'll back off, burrow their way into the bathrooms. They have the AWP for Draken, but it's at long, rather than in the bathrooms with the straight line of sight toward the post-plant position. And therefore, it's got to get aggressive. Interestingly, Draken's going to do exactly that. An off angle. Cold. Didn't quite spot him with the jump. If Draken moves even slightly, Cold will, the edge of the smoke. Somehow he stays completely out of the vision of Cold. He was lurking atop the truck. It's Taco instead. SMG wants to get aggressive. Good find from Forrest. Falling goes back in. AWP misses. Inevitably, therefore, Cold's able to find the kill. And in the knife, or in the smoke rather, with the knife, they try and find Get Right, and somehow he tracks Fallen down running away.
I'm really liking this from NIP. They've got themselves together. They're being very patient, very disciplined. Every kill they get, every bit of map control they have, they're converting it and making sure they don't make any mistakes here. Forrest hitting absolutely everything. The Draken Orb hasn't really had to come out too much, and it's another round when they've broken the economy of SK here. 7-5, and we might tie things up eventually as we've got 7-5, and just the Deagles, the CZs. We have got a bit of body armor here. Since they got their economy stable, it seems like NIP have looked like the stronger team in the gun rounds almost. They seem they've got the game plan completely locked down of SK. Find the aggression, hold together, trade frags, and this should be no different. as it will be the first 2 kills coming in favor of the Swedish side. 5 on 3, waiting for rotation as he exists, looking towards that connector door.
Good hold from Forest.
Yeah, everything's just covered right now. They've always been very good in the anti-eco situations, making sure they don't give anything away.
Considering the early buy was a loss and they still went down even with the second buy in there at 5-0. Hit with the reset. You'd expect this half to just open wide up for SK and they'd be running away with this game. And NIP's done very well to pull back in again, keeping the economy modest. Good disciplined game plan, as you were saying. And now they're starting to string rounds together. They've adapted well to SK and what they're throwing, literally throwing at them. I mean, Fur being so aggressive for 5 straight rounds.
We're used to seeing on this map especially, teams when they can't get rolling at all, they'll go to a B rush or a contact B play or a set piece off the bat. And now we're just seeing NIP defaults every single time. Shut down that aggression. If you can find Fur, you're going to win the round. And once they get the opening pick, which they have been finding, slowly get the map control, dissect the map, push those CTs back towards the bomb sites, drop the smokes, keep them modest. And for this round, it will be 1 AK saved. It's in the hand of Bolts right now. Fell with the Desert Eagle and T-Sport, surely gets nothing out of this. There's a little bit of damage, but ultimately he will be taken down. The AK will be saved as the loss bonus starts to rack up now for the SK side. 5 rounds in a row, so that's an absolute maximum. Fallen brings out the AWP. Doesn't look like Cold Zero will join him this time. We'll have a look at the frag charts while we're here at the same time. Bolts at the very top, 13 kills, 7 deaths. Similar story for existing Get Right. They're at 12 right now as we head into round number 14. First map of the best of 3 here. NIP, the defending champions of this tournament. Considering recent form and results, you wouldn't think that would be the case, but it's up to SK to try and knock them out here and make their way to the grand final.
So Fallen now looking more traditional. Staying on the A side. Fur's expecting the high side peek toward the party. It's Rez that sneaks underneath. And a good find. They know he plays that corner very, very commonly.
It's Fur going down again. Great start to the game, but it will be equalized as Fallen manages to find exist there. No flashbangs coming through. That's disappointing.
Unorthodox from Fallen to go back for more. Usually you'd expect, especially after trading back to a 4 versus 4. Op hits one, runs to site. He was trying to catch someone out. Far as Cold as well is going to wait. Times it to perfection, or does he? Good shot back from Draken. That was quick, because it easily could have been a spray lineup and Cold could have shut the round down. Now they have a chance to walk inside of the site as Draken posts to watch the ramp. Taco will stay to the mountain instead. Look for the headshot over the top. AK spraying through is always going to win that battle. And speaking of AKs, Bolts had operative word on the CT side as he gets taken down by Get Right.
2 versus 1. Fallen with no kit. The AWP in hand is certainly not an ideal situation, but give him an opportunity and he'll more often than not convert it to success. He'll drop down, he's committed, spots one, shoots him in the back. It's now 1 versus 1. Draken with the AWP as well. Remember, it's Fallen who has to defuse the bomb at this point. He has found a kit, and Draken holds towards short. The mind games start to come into play here. The Molotov's deployed. He might go for the full defuse here. I would say he commits, but with the poor position of the bomb, this could actually be a real tough time for Draken.
Flash revealed exactly where he was coming from, and Draken beats Fallen. Talk about having to be quick. Bomb down certainly favored, but it's another round. 7-7. They pulled this back. And speaking of pulling it back, you'd expect, therefore, incredible performances from everyone. Well, Rez, top dog from NIP, I think he sits with only 4 kills currently, 5 kills. So he's not the one doing all the work. It's Get Right that leads the way.
He has been quiet so far, but that round just then, he opens it up, gets the opening pick towards Fur in the bathrooms once again. And we're going to round number 15. It has to be the force buy from SK. They'll get the UMPs, the Famases, and 1 AWP. And Forrest once again shuts down Fur. Fur really needs to address his issue. It might be a little bit too late. He's had a couple of really successful rounds, but after that, it seems like NIP have got his number.
Fallen, good find. Waits patiently for Forrest. Bolts, meanwhile, trying to find a reverse position toward Get Right. He snuck through the bathrooms and got him behind him. Can't do so. That opens up all of the A side, including long. So Rez easily able to walk in and plant the bomb. Round 15, they have to go. No kits. Fallen has the AWP, but smoked off. They're going to go through it. No flash. No kits, no flash means no entrance. As exists, take out the easy kills as Cold is the last alive. And NIP, they pulled this back 8-7. They're going to win the half.
They were 7-1 down, and they come on top there. What a great game plan there. They stuck with it, and it came together eventually. That's actually looking very good for them on SK's map pick as well. I'm actually very impressed with the game plan they brought here today. Matthew, I think we need a little break after that one, and SK, I'm sure they do as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Maybe I'm just a comics comic. Isn't that enough?
You could be so much bigger than that.
I don't want to sell out.
Don't do nothing set in space or put on a cape. That's just weak.
White Famous, new series Sundays at 10, only on Showtime. Start your free trial now.
Both teams had rounds, or at least stretches of almost 7 rounds in a row. It was 7-1 for SK, and somehow NIP pull it back. A brilliant half, like you say as well. They didn't just collapse, implode, and start running toward bomb sites either.
Nothing too technical came out there. We didn't see any crazy avant-garde strategies deployed or any fakes going on. Just a real nice approach of basic fundamental Counter-Strike, waiting for the aggression to come through and converting those rounds to victories. It was actually really nice to watch. We're getting to the second half, and it will be a more tactical buy here from SK. Got 2 smokes and a couple of Molotovs to work with as well. It's Draken to get the first shot off. He does a bit of damage towards coldzera, and we're heading towards long A with those Glocks, looking to execute on the A bomb side, it seems.
All the way down long for leads. The approach, Draken, the one to wait. Fires early, can't fight Fallen immediately with the headshot, has to fall off of the angle. Get a rotation in from Forest as well. Kit with Get Right. Interestingly, it's not Exist, who's typically you see it staying with the in-game leader.
Exactly.
So smoke toward the back steps. The dumpster goes in, and it's Forest to shut him down. We know he's formerly had a history of being a menace on pistol rounds. He hasn't exactly always showed it, but a good first shot. Unfortunately, Taco and Cold able to converge and immediately take back the lead for the SK side as Bolt backs off. Bomb already planted, and Cold is aware that Exist is lurking on the other side. Remember, Get Right's the one with the kit, so he has to get close to the site, and he will play accordingly. Exist does at least get Taco. It gives him a much better chance. Level footing, but he has them all distracted. Get inside of the site. That's 2 spotted toward bathrooms. Isolating long if they can get on it. If Rez can hold the battle, they've got a chance to try and stick this. Unfortunately, that's gone. Good shot from Cold. And Get Right now knows he has to fight if he wants any chance to win the round.
Such a difficult situation for him. Smoked off towards long, but he knows as soon as he touches that bomb, 2 players be coming towards him. He downgrades to a Glock. Somehow does the damage, comes out on top. He still has a chance in this one. If the burst fire works out for him, it won't. Fallen comes out on top, but still a very good effort there by Get Right. All things considered, it was touch and go.
I'm so surprised Fallen didn't peek sooner.
Yeah.
He's sitting there taking like a good 3 or 4 second battle, a duel off the bomb, and Fallen was, I thought, immediately beside him, but didn't want to go back through the smoke, so. Left it late, was obviously going to play at the time, trying to play the very disciplined approach. It pays off because SK now find their first round at 7.
No force by him from NIP. They're looking at the bigger picture here. Upgraded pistol, sure, but no real armor or nades deployed. They know if they're going to have a chance to find frags with this Desert Eagle CZ, it'll be just like that! One bullet, one kill. Forest takes down Fur. He is hitting absolutely everything right now, and they can hold up. And we've got a boost towards B. I think that's a 3-man stack towards the B bomb site itself. We have indeed. So this is looking quite good now. They can funnel them towards that area. This could work out. We could see some fireworks go off in round number 17.
Have to stay in the corner. You can't change the angle with that boost because when you're the third man up, you actually slide off. Which is why Get Right is forced into the wall as Setch. Both pistols have now gone the way of SK, so the majority of gun rounds have actually gone to an IP. Doesn't help them any.
Oh!
They all count. Draken, that one counts as well. 2 Deagle shots in the round. It's suddenly a 5 versus 3 for NIP and Draken. He knows there's a gun on the other side of the flower pots. Good shot from Cold, but he knows there's likely more SK players as well, and he's right. Assuming so, my goodness, Forest!
This is unbelievable, the shots he's hitting right now. He's just toying with them, looking for more. Long A finally taken down. It's a 3 versus 2. coldzera and Taco have to try and salvage the round as they make their way towards the A sides. Taco looking for the flags, but it might not matter. The bomb goes down. 25 seconds. How have NIP done this? The shots were just stellar. And now coldzera, I don't think he has a chance in this one. He won't even have time to get the bomb down here. NIP just looking for the final frag. It's Forest, it's Get Right, it's Draken bringing home the bacon as they manage to hit every single shot there with the Desert Eagle. Really, really nice work. No armor required there, Map.
Not at all. That's, I mean, incredible. Forest, personality as always. Yeah, I'd be happy after those 2 shots.
Oh, that was so sick. Look at this.
This one was just incredible. Swings out, bang, bolts down, and that was his second Deagle shot in the round that was successfully on target. NIP, I mentioned losing both pistols. Well, this is certainly one way to compensate. Win the ensuing eco, or force spy, if you will. And now have a chance to take control. And I'm very curious to see how, we saw SK's constant aggression, Fur constantly being aggressive. How disciplined is NIP going to be?
Not very at the start there. It exists spacing towards the monster tunnel. He'll be dealt with by coldzera. Early advances, some damage inflicted. coldzera throws over the AK-47 to bolts. They'll wait up here. They've managed to pull together their resources and got a couple of smokes and flashbangs to work with here. And a Molotov. Executing towards B is normally favored. You don't need that much map control to fully execute and unload on towards that B bomb site. Fur looking for any aggressive reactions coming through. Get rotates back towards B. Running out of time now. SK will need to work out. Do they go back towards the A site? coldzera is watching for flanks towards that connector. As we take more damage, Taco goes down to 15 points of health.
Good shot back from Forest. Cold and Taco low. Fallen at least grabs the AK again to work with. Rez has still been holding onto the bathrooms the whole time, so even if they rotate back, they have to pass his position at some point in time, so he's got the information required. Smoke will immediately go off to the Heaven position. Allows a better entrance. Takes out some of the range aspect from Monster. Just the 1 AK to work with. They don't even go in though. Forest gets in their face early. 26 seconds. They've got to go eventually if they want to at all, and apparently it doesn't matter because NIP's not going to allow them. Fallen, Taco, and Fur all go down. Just Cold remaining. AK picked up. Do some damage where he can.
And I normally am a big fan of waiting for reactions to come through, but when you're in that sort of situation, when you've got a mixture of 1 AK and some pistols there, if you get an opening pick, you've got the utility and the positional control to execute. I think you go for it at that point. They were too apprehensive. They didn't commit as quickly as they should have done. Waited for it, and it didn't have anything to work with towards the end. Forest is playing incredibly well. Looking so sharp today. Very confident stuff. It's 10-8 and another eco for SK. If NIP somehow pull off this first map victory map and move on to cash, they could actually clean sweep the series. This is actually looking promising for them.
It'd be incredible. And you've got FaZe on the other side with Cloud9 looking extremely hot. Fallen wants to go, speaking hot through the flames. They're extinguished now, and they'll walk directly into Exist. He sprays down everyone. 3 quick kills. Forest adds in his spray. Anything you can do, I can do, well, just as well. It all works. 5 straight kills, NIP, easy round.
They were 7-1 down. In the second half now, they're up 11-8. Money's starting to stabilize for the SK side, but they don't have that AWP. Draken certainly does, though. Here's the replay of Exist and Go, getting it done towards Shore, making sure this eco isn't anything to worry about whatsoever. Forest to finish things off, and that's a little double there, and we'll get into round number 20. The AKs are out, we have got the smokes, but no Molotovs here, as we get a bit of aggression for the CT side towards that connector, and Fallen spots it. Does he want to challenge? It looks like he certainly does.
Good shot, Exist. They funnel Fur back around. He's ready at the sandbags. Rez gets Fallen back.
Good work, good teamwork there.
You're right, well, definitely good choice, but you're right in saying that it's 7-1 down, it's now 11-8. It's, look, SK is not unbeatable, we know that. But in this fashion, with that many rounds against them, typically they're very dynamic, adaptive, and so individually skilled, you don't see teams just walk all over them.
They were very stubborn in the first half of their aggression. They didn't want to stop or take their foot off the gas whatsoever, but 3-on-3 for now. It's Rez that's half HP with bolts now towards shore. Forrest, though, what a game he's having so far. He holds towards the B bomb site. We have actually got Rez in the bathroom. So with 1 minute remaining, we'll see if there's any mistakes made by the CT side, and SK will try and capitalize upon those. But they've left the B side completely open by the looks of things now. Forrest rotating back through.
I think a lot of that stubbornness probably comes from resilience that they weren't expecting from NIP. They were expecting that when they were probably so far up, they would start rushing and collapsing, as you say. They did not, which is caught them off, but they're inside of the B site this time. A slow pace walk in. B site completely open, so it'll be a 3-man rotation retake, and all 3 will be coming back from Squeaky. Now, how far forward with the smokes down do they go? Because the further forward they go, more problems they'll have. 2 spotted at least. As Forrest gets bolts, he'll make the call, and they'll immediately turn their attention, but Taco is extremely low, and Cole is playing a very tough angle. Forrest gets the trade. This is absolutely going to be a retake for NIP, and it's a 12th round.
Power and numbers. They take a gamble. They're leaving the B bomb site open. Forrest rotating back through to his teammates. I guess in the 3 versus 1, they want to stick together and have a chance of retaking there. He goes back towards A. They hunt for information. They push towards middle. They get in the connector. As soon as that bomb goes down, they're ready to strike. Opening up the connector door. Flashbang towards short. First kill comes in. 3-on-2. And at that point, it's just trading out frags. Taco, low HP, could find 1, but that's all he'll get. And it will be 12 to 8. The bomb gets planted. Lost bonus certainly accumulating at the 4th stage. They can buy into this one, and we'll see whether they decide to do so. We have seen 1 AK-47 so far, and a second they will be fully committing here. Still can't get the AWP out, and such little utility to work with. 2 smokes, 1 flashbang, and a Molotov. That's it. They are fully invested into the round. SK Gaming are on the ropes right now. NIP dictating the pace of the game, and actually looking very good as a unit.
Toward the smoke, there's a gap inside of it. Might as well at least be inquisitive behind it, but no one there. There's someone out toward that part of the map, but it's the other side of the wall, over toward long A, where Rez waits. See if he gets a chance to strike, and he could. I think they may have overlooked this position. They're not even putting any pressure on toward long. The fact as well that they've brought Get Right out to support him means they have a crossfire set if they walk through bathrooms to take long instead. And he still has all the potential in the world to go further forward. Cold is at least staring back in that direction to consider the possibility. Get Right makes contact. The nade could be a kill for Get Right if he throws it correctly, but it doesn't quite land. Fur, he'll stay alive, and more importantly, Taco finds exist. Now Rez has to respond. Bomb down. That'll buy some time and space, but not so much in the fact that Fallen swings in behind him and immediately executes. As soon as they lost Get Right, there was nowhere except for forward for Rez to go.
Rare advantage now for SK. It's been a struggle in the second half, but it's a 4-on-3. But 2 players very low indeed. They still have 40 seconds remaining, but only 1 smoke here, and that Molotov. Forrest hunting for information. It looks towards middle. Narrowly misses out on spotting Fur, and they'll make their way towards the B side. That's where Draken is with the AWP. Not an ideal situation as Forrest tentatively looks towards top of middle there. Lucky to be alive, and he wants to fight here, and fight he shall as he takes down Get Right. This is looking very good now. Brave plays from Fallen, and might even get a second frag here as he takes all the aggro away from the B side, but Draken, he's not moving, and he's hitting shots.
Certainly is behind the pillar, goes back for more. He still has the lineup shoulder bait.
10 seconds.
Bakes him out, but you're right, 10 seconds. They have to get to the site. Bolts' kill allows them. Fallen will cover it off, and they just get to the plants in time. I shouldn't say just in time. They have 2 seconds to spare, but that's not exactly a lot. Fallen! I thought would easily get the shot. Forrest finds 2 back, and just barely they hold on as Fur gets the trade.
1 more bullet would have done it there for Forrest. He had to reload. If he pulls the pistol out and nails it, could have been a different story. But he still keeps them very modest there. SK Gaming have been struggling with the economic side of the game. They managed to convert a 3 versus 1 to the 1v1, and Forrest still applying the pressure here. Money in abundance for the NIP side. They get a full buy here. Not the same story there for SK. They're winning rounds. But look, there's a deagle out for Taco. They bring out the AWP for the first time, but there's no helmet there. And Rez, he's looking to give a taste of his own medicine as he pushes top of middle here.
Rez is still forward. Taco still back towards spawn, so in fact SK just sitting well back in this round and seeing if NIP wants to walk into any potential traps or crossfires. Getting over aggressive. Rez has to be careful. He's essentially in the exact wrong position for this because Taco can slip in behind him. In fact, Fur, what a shot, just takes him down immediately.
On a plate there, Rez, he had to convert that frag. 20 bullets or so, couldn't get the shot off, and Fur can't believe his luck that he's still alive here. And we'll see whether Draken can find the kill and return. Difficult shot coming up.
Run boost. Oh, wow! That's a flick if you've ever seen one. Draken certainly up to it. There was a run boost to get fallen so wide. And that's why Draken overpeaked it, but what an incredible compensation as he runs back, just barely gets around the corner as well. Tagged to 49. But Fur is extremely low. Flash will buy him more space. Hug the left wall because he's got to get back in the side. He's low. He can't do it. Taco spots him too soon. And bolts at the front of the site. Forrest now knows he's got pressure applied, and he has to hold on. More so because the rotations aren't quite in position. So instead of sitting in the site, he has to get forward and go exactly where there's space on the map.
20 seconds again here, Matt. Now 15 as Taco and Fur nowhere near the bomb site. Forrest locking them in from the bathrooms as well. They can't plant. This round's over. They categorically can't do anything about this. They have to save. It's Draken to save the day there. We speculated as to whether he could even perform on the big saves, but he's proving that he certainly can. What a play that was. After losing the first pick, he's brave, takes 2 down along, and provides another round victory for NIP. So we keep 2 weapons in favor of SK Gaming, but there's no kill or loss reward for them, and they'll have $500 between them as we go 13-9 in favor of NIP. Here's the replay. That first shot, unbelievable. Really nice flick there, and that's the confidence to go for a second, knowing he needs to guarantee the round victory at this point.
23 for Forrest, 21 for Cold. He's taken over the lead on the SK side. Taco on 7. Rez on 10. They're the bottom side of it. And Taco, again, was super impressive in the quarterfinals. Rez has been impressive throughout.
This has been more par for the course. This is the kind of numbers he's putting up in the other stages of the tournament. He certainly has been dropping off. Yeah, absolutely great in the quarterfinals, but they've gone by now. We need performances right here, right now.
I feel like, again, Taco does get a lot of I guess...
Flack.
Flack, yeah. A lot of people harp on him about his performances, but again, he is playing roles, and Fallen speaks to this, where he is in that position, and a lot of the success he gets is on entries. They haven't had a great T side, so it's not surprising to see it hasn't exploded on the scoreboard, as you might expect. In fact, they've only gotten 2 rounds on this T side, and only one of them is a gun round. The other was the pistol.
Well, forced by into this round, the AWP comes through, an M4 for Taco, saved from the previous, and 3 CZ. This is looking quite grim. NIP in touching distance now of picking up a map victory on SK's pick. No one does that to SK. NIP certainly doing a good job here. Remember, they're 7-1 down as well. To be in this position, it's fantastic.
And it's such discipline for CS from NIP as well, which I think SK can't respond to. It's just so fundamentally correct. There's not many openings to take advantage of, which is why, even with, okay, fair enough, Fallen on the AWP, I was going to say in this round, having the AWP and the M4, it may not be enough to open it up, but if they find the early picks, it certainly can be. Forrest is down to 24 as well. Exist at least gets Taco off-site at Monster. It gives them something to work with. Peculiar position for Rez because he now has to fall back, and Cold is far too close. The dink as well. Get right. He's on 23. This could be the round they win just after I thought, again, fundamentals, I thought this would be impossible to break them down without weapons.
Well, it's going to be Fur now hunting for Get Right, knowing that he's dinked. He's got the AWP in hand. Won't be able to hit that shot. He's given him the second bite of the cherry there, but he'll fall back as the incendiary lands towards long. It's a chance for Get Right to fall back to the crossfire position. 35 seconds, a 3-on-3 with 2 players. Very low indeed. And this Exists coming for the flank. He's from the connector. He could cause a ton of damage here if he can find Cold Zera. He certainly does. 3-on-2 now. Time ticking away, and we'll commit towards long.
Shots out. Fallen can't hit, down to 6 HP. That's going to be a problem because now numbers outweigh the HP in so many ways. Forrest in their face, and that's going to be the round surely because Fallen gets traded and he was low on HP. 14 for NIP.
Forrest comes out swinging to the bank area, knowing the time was low. At 3 versus 2, they can afford to sacrifice 1 player. If he kills 1, that's it, round done, and nothing they can do. SK are finding the opening picks here, but that round they just didn't have the firepower to do anything with it. Shut down by the incendiary, had to wait. NIP coming for the flank. It exists to take down one of the key players, Fur, in the back. And it's going to be 49, an eco at map points. Well, potentially coming up. This is allowing NIP to almost come as close to the map out.
Not quite to map point yet.
But you know what I mean.
It seems like it's there, yes.
This one should almost certainly bring in map points.
Draken waits patiently this time. Ooh, again, there's kind of what we spoke about.
Yeah.
He hits ridiculously hard shots.
That's so true, isn't it?
And then that's directly in front of his crosshair, and I think he's like so used to the muscle memory of flicking that when it's already aimed, he's like, what do? I can't just leave my hand still.
Unfortunately, up against the Glocks and P250s, it shouldn't really affect the outcome of the round as Reds get the second kill, 5-on-3. Low HP on another player for the SK side as well. We are going to find map point for the NIP side. It was 7-1 down. And here we are on the SK map pick. NIP looking solid, a strong unit right now. Nothing too fancy, just playing great CS, hitting the shots. Players like Forrest looking fantastic. Ren starting to come to life now, and Draken with some crazy flicks at the same time. 15-9. Last chance for SK Gaming. They'll bring out 2 Galils, 3 AK-47. They've got the utility to work with here, but 6 rounds in a row just to force overtime. It seems very unlikely at this point.
Unlikely indeed. I was praising Fur for being absolutely menacing and incredible at the start of this game.
Yes.
I was thinking the way that he was playing.
The first 2 or 3 rounds he did it, it was great.
He's dropped off entirely, by the way. 13 kills total after all of that. I think he was up to 10, probably on round 6 or 7. So, yeah, huge fall off from Fur. Better from NIP. Get right and exist. They'll line them up. This is done.
Oh!
It's all done. Fallen in a 1 versus 5, and Forrest finds him. 16-9. NIP take map 1 over SK.
A vintage performance there for the Ninjas. 7-1 down. They show tenacity and they hold it together. A great basic approach to the game, and Threat's got to be very happy with that one. They stayed composed. The young guns performed, and it just looked like SK got shut down there when their initial aggression was found out.
Remarkable performance all the way through. Again, Rez didn't lead the way, but everybody else stepped up. And Draken, he won a number of duels, both sides of the map on the AWP versus Fallen. Not an easy thing to do against SK on Overpass. We had to cash next. That's NIP's pick. This could be done in 2. If SK don't wake up, we'll take a short break and join the desk.